Today we are talking with ETJ Violins, Eric Thomas Jacquin Violins. And what's up, Italy? So we've got these violins to talk about, and we have two of them in our shop right now. Really excited about this. We've got this walnut violin and then a flamed maple violin. So nice. And try not to drop them off the counter there. That would be most unfortunate. So this is what they look like. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what some of the features are. And then we've got ETJ himself is going to join us by Skype. So they are handmade instruments, super lightweight. You'll see they're around 500 grams or less. They're passive, so you don't have to worry about batteries, and you don't have to worry about any issues with like your little Bud style wireless, whether you're using a Line 6 G10 or like the Boss WL50 or whatever you're using. They've got Whitner pegs, which are fantastic for working with for tuning. I don't know if you're used to using friction pegs and you go to tune with a Whitner peg, you're like, oh, thank God, this is the most amazing thing ever. They come with Vision strings, really nice strings on them. And they look great. It's an original thing that you don't see other violins look like that. And yeah, they sound fantastic, super lightweight. So the flamed maple and ebony, it's got an ebony fingerboard on it. This one's going right around 500 grams without the chin rest on there. You can see this is all sort of hollowed out in the back here. Very, very lightweight. Kind of a cool looking headstock here. See those Whitner pegs in there. I like it's a nice compromise on the 5-string between the dimensions of a 4 and like he's gone a little bit wider. But so we still have a nice finger spacing here, and I've got kind of big hands, but it still allows me to play this very, very comfortably. It's a really, really nice instrument. So then the next one is the walnut and Zeracote, and this has got this beautiful two-tone fingerboard that you can see here. See how it changes colors as you go down? Whoo, that's pretty. And then, so this one is plugged in, so you can hear it. But that's where the cable goes here underneath. You got a volume knob there. Again, everything's passive. It's only 460 grams. Look how light this is. I can lift it all the way over my head. And yeah, they're great sounding instruments. So let's just bring in Eric right now and talk to him. There he is. He's in France, and you're wherever you are, and I'm in Durham, and we're all here together. So how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Yes, it's working. Yeah. Hello, everybody. And thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, to invite me. Very happy to see you here, and I want to thank you first for all you are doing for the electric violin community. It's all your energy, your happiness to play violin that encourage people to play electric violins. So thank you. And yes, I am in France right now, near of my workshop in Monteux. It's a little town in south of France. And I am working here, and this village is very special because we have many artists, many craftsmen, and it's a very, very good mood to create. It's very, very productive. So I have bring with me here some violin from my workshop, as you can see. And I will show you how is constructed one ETJ violin.
Yes, please.
Alors, here I have a Wenge violin. It's very hard wood to work. 10 years ago, I started to make my first prototype, and I worked with Wenge. And I say, I never will touch the Wenge again one more time. But this year, I decided to work with Wenge. It's very hard, but it's very beautiful wood. It sounds fantastic. And you can see here, this is the fingerboard. And here you can see under the fingerboard how it's constructed. It's a special construction. It's called neck-through construction. That means there is no glue joint between the neck and the body of the violin. And that enables the vibration of the violin to traverse to all the neck and in the body, and it gives a great sustain. You have very long sustain and great resonances. And the most difficult was to work with these resonances. I wanted to make a resonant violin and to bring all these characteristic of the wood into the pickup. And as you can see, under the violin, all is hollowed and it's straight here with a little box where the jack is coming and the volume knob, and all is conserved in an organic manner, in the way to be resistant to feedback, but in the same time to give a kind of hollow body richness of sound. And I have here another violin. This one is a special violin with paddock wood and zericot fingerboard. And you will see the walnut violin that Matt will play is made with the same zericot fingerboards. And this fingerboard gives a very deep sound like a viola. It's very special, and it's very different from ebony fingerboards. So I have a third violin. This one is the maple violin, and it's the same violin as you can see the second violin that Matt Bell have here. Yeah, it is the same, but it is unvarnished. It's raw. And after the varnish, you will see the flame that comes out, as you can see.
Man, that's really pretty. I love that.
Yes.
Can you talk about the stripe that's down the middle? What's the stripe here?
Also, in the middle, it is a little part of Wenge, 3mm Wenge, and it is a kind of reinforcement. Sorry for my bad English. It's difficult. But it is straight the neck and the body together, and it's aesthetical, but in the same time, it enhances a little bit the basses, because the Wenge is very good for bass, low tones, and it gives a very nice color for the low C on 5 strings. And I produce mainly 4 and 5 strings model and baritone version of them. So you can get them in standard tuning or 1 octave lower tuned in baritone.
Yeah, that's one thing we have not demonstrated any of the octave violins. We have not gotten those in yet, but I've seen them on your site, and they sound really nice. I love an octave violin. They sound so rich and full, and it's a fantastic sound.
Yes, I have done one active violin, but I wanted for this time make a passive violin without battery, very light, because you can have like 500 grams violin, like classical violin, and with battery and preamp, onboard preamp, it's very difficult to get this weight. So this model is specially made to be just plugged in a amp, at best a guitar amp. And if you use acoustic amp, you have to lower a little bit the height, because it's calibrated to work with guitar amps at best. and so you get a very rich medium sound, typical of guitars, more warm.
Well, we had a question here from Alonso, is asking, says, let me make this a little bigger there. Says, about the 2-color fingerboard. What is the reason for having that 2-color fingerboard? Is that how the wood comes, or does it change the way it sounds?
Oh, this is the particularity of Zericot. Zericot is a very fantastic wood with many movements, with many colors inside, and this one was very special piece of Zericot that I had. Only one that is bicolor. The other Zericot are more uniform, as you can see.
Wow.
Yes, and the one that you have is very, very unique. I have only one bicolor, and in terms of sound, it changed nothing. Zericot is very fantastic by itself. Zericot is a wood that sounds very rich in deepness. So you have a viola sound, but that is bicolor, change nothing. It's just aesthetical.
Okay. And then Rob Flax is asking, what strings do you use for the baritone versions? You're using Vision strings, right?
Yes, actually for the standard is Vision, and for the baritone, I use it normally Sensicor super sensitive, but I am working with Thomastic, and I have actually a prototype of low C that I will test next month, and normally I will work with Thomastic for the baritone version.
Got a question here asking if you ever made a 5-string but with viola size.
Oh, I never done it because nobody asked me. Actually, only violin size, but all is possible.
Everything's possible. Some things just cost more.
Yes, for viola are a little bit difficult to do because normally people ask some special size, so it's more like a custom instrument naturally, but it's possible.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's so many different sizes of violas that it's just, the electric strings market is not that big to begin with, and then the electric viola market is even smaller. And then you divide that into like 5 sizes, and it's a very, very small market.
Yeah,
you can make a 15.5-inch viola that could hang on the wall for 10 years.
I think I encourage viola players to play 5-string violin, so they will have the low C and the high E, so they will never be frustrated. They're always happy to have a low and high.
Yeah,
but
and there are so many more options. If you go to a 5-string violin, you've got so many more choices. Now, granted, if you're used to a 17-inch viola, a 14-inch violin is going to feel very small. But that's kind of how it goes. Oleg is asking. We had this up earlier. Oleg, the walnut in Zericot is 460 grams. And the maple ebony is 503 grams.
Yes.
So,
yes, it's a small difference. It's a small difference, but the most important is that the violin is very well balanced with all the weight on the rear. So it means even there is a little difference in the weight, the weight is always on the back of the violin. So you don't really feel this difference.
I had actually recorded, and I'm going to pull up these videos. I recorded some videos of me playing a little bit earlier, and I'm going to let you guys hear these 2 violins real quick. What you're going to be hearing is sort of a mix of, I've got a direct sound and a in-the-room sound. So what you'll be hearing is sort of a blend between the direct sound and the in-the-room sound. It's going to give you a really good idea of what this instrument is going to sound like for you.